Hey everybody, it's Spotify day 2. Did my also on the same day as 1. In my shirt it says procrastinate, which is kind of what I did, but I had my reasons. Let's get back to some music, shall we? Up first is a rapper who shares my name. It's Russ with Can't Be Me. Alright, I'll go with that. Let's keep the trend going of guys with regular names. It's Mike and Been Thinking. More of that adult male pop stuff, I guess. Forrest up next with Never Had. Wow. The straight ahead male pop is strong again this week. Up next, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani with Happy Anywhere. This goes in the bad file because if you reduced Gwen Stefani to a backup singer. Not cool, Blake. Up next, Loren Gray with Alone. It's okay. It's really it though. Up next, Pia Mia with Hot. I really wanted to like this more than I did. This is just okay again. Up next, SOMI with What You Waiting For. I like the background. It sounds like somebody made it in Sounddrop. I miss Sounddrop. You can't download it anymore. Up next, Farruko with La Toxica. I wouldn't call it La Toxica. Maybe some side effects, I guess. Up next, Deaton Chris Anthony with I Love All My Friends. If I was one of Deaton Chris Anthony's friends and he's like, I love all you guys, I wrote a song about it, I'd be like, oh, you didn't have to. Anyway, up next, Hurting on Purpose with Whethan featuring Flay. A lot of Flay on this because I guess Whethan is just an instrumentalist, so that's good. Next, Kevin Gates with Difficult. Not a big Kevin Gates guy, but I love this. Up next, Flo Milli from her new album, Ho Why Is You Here? I love that. And May I. I cannot wait to hear the rest of this album. Remember the song by Red Cafe, May I, Kick a Little Something for the G's, and it's like that. It's good. Up next, Smino with Jid and Kenny Beats and Baguetti. The album cover, instead of dogs playing poker, it's dogs playing dominoes. I love it. Up next, Biig, Piig, each with 2 eyes, because there was already a band, a one-hit wonder from the 80s called Big Pig with just 1 eye. They had a song called Breakaway. It's really good. Let's see if Don't Turn Around is as good. Oddly enough, this is pretty good, in a totally different way than Breakaway by the other Big Pig band, which, by the way, you should look up. It's very interesting. They had a lot of percussionists in the group, which gave them a unique sound. Up next, Charlotte Lawrence in Slow Motion. It's not a remake of Juvenile, but it's alright. Next, Little Mix with Holiday. Please don't be a remake of the other ones. It's not a remake of the song by the other one, but it's still pretty good. Up next, Dimitri Vegas and Say My Name. Okay, I didn't make the joke, but this time it is a remake of the Destiny's Child song. It's actually really good. Kind of a new twist on it. I like it a lot. Up next, Calboy and Holy Water. It's okay. Up next, Wifisfuneral with Corey Irie and Lost in Time. It's of the mediocre R&B strain. Up next, Silver Sphere with Crowd. It doesn't stand out in the crowd too much, it's just okay. Up next, Role Model with Blind. Is that a remake of Korn? Although with a poppy sound like this, I don't know how that would work. But there's somebody try it though. This is just okay. Up next, Little Skies and Light Beam. This is kind of a rap of the moment sound, which is pretty good. Let's wrap it up with Shoreline Mafia with Wiz Khalifa and How We Do It. Ooh, samples Montel Jordan, and actually pretty well, so we'll call that good. Still no greats yet, but I don't know. Okay is running away with this week. We'll see if we do any better tomorrow or later today. Like I said, I don't know what order these are going up in. They're all going to be pretty short this week. Hey everybody, it's Spotify Day, part 3 of 4. I'm recording these very late at night. Everybody else is asleep. I can only hope everybody else in this room is asleep, which is my wife and one of my daughters, because she gets scared. She sleeps on our floor a lot. So yeah, let's get back to Spotifying with some HRVY, and never mind. Okay has been kind of the rule of the week so far, and this is more of that. Up next, Dove Cameron and We Belong. Again, Solidly okay. Very solidly okay. Up next, Sylvan Esso with Ferris Wheel. It's actually pretty good. More than I was expecting from a song called Ferris Wheel. Up next, Mickey Guyton and Heaven Down Here. It sounds a bit country. I prefer things a bit rock and roll though. Up next, Emily King and Help from the Spotify Singles collection. I've heard better Spotify singles, I'm sorry, Emily. Up next, Queen Naija and Pack Light. Always good advice for a trip. And we're back in the OK section. Up next, Earl's Sweatshirt with Navy Blue and Ghost. I don't really get all the hype about Earl's Sweatshirt. The song is not great. It's pretty mediocre. Up next, Famous Dex and Cop. I'll give it this though, it is less than 2 minutes. Up next, Famous Dex and Cooped Out. Got my head bobbing, but that's about it. Up next, Evie Irie with Little More Love. Bordering on good, but still okay. Up next, Dawes. Who do you think you're talking to? This is actually pretty good. Next, Gorillaz with Schoolboy Q and Pac-Man. You know, I really haven't... I love the Gorillaz, but I've not cared much for this Song Machine episode thing, but this is probably the best one I've heard. Up next, Chief Keef with P.S. Pants Sag. I've heard much better Chief Keef. Up next, Dirty Tay and Don't Want to Do It. It's actually pretty good. It's won me over. Up next, Connor Matthews with SEX. So the S is separate from the EX. That's really all the interesting thing I have to say. Up next, MK with Carla Monroe. And 2 a.m., which is not when I'm recording this, but it's getting there. Yeah, this is the kind of song I'd take home at last call. Up next, Uzona with Whiston and Gistro Amarillo. More of the okay. Up next, Model Tour and One More Weekend. This isn't too bad. It's actually pretty good. Nice change of pace. Up next, Sean Kennedy and Too Sensitive. Not sure if the songs are getting better. The playlist is just wearing me down, but this is pretty good. Up next, Samia with Big Wheel. We'll see if it keeps on turning. Rolling, rolling, rolling down the OK. Next, Morgan Saint and Keep On Hanging On. You're hanging on for an OK. Actually, it's actually pretty good, so hang on, leaving a little longer. Joshua Spears, no relation. Up next with Get What You Need. Okay. Up next, Lori McKenna, and This Town Is a Woman. Alright, I'm on board. This is pretty good. Neon Trees up next with Nights. Alright, this is a good... Well, a couple weeks ago we had the Neon Trees, but it wasn't very good. This is actually pretty good, though. Nice to have him back. Up next, Neck Deep and Telling Stories. Alright, well, you know what? The bar is pretty low for rock, because there isn't much on here, and it's pretty good. Up next, and wrapping it up, is The Score with Travis Barker and All of Me. Again, the drums are turned way up too high, because Travis Barker's on the song, because you gotta get your money's worth. So yeah, that's just okay. Man, okay is just killing it this week, so let's see if they do it some more next time. What do you say? I guess we're rolling already. Wow, I didn't think I was. Hey, it's Spotify for Forrest Limited Series this week, because the posting schedule is going to be all kittywampus or mixed up or I don't know what. Now my hat's off center. These days I'll get used to actually doing this on a camera, not a mirror. Takes some getting used to. Anyway, let's start off the last of the batch of these songs with Lupe Fiasco and Dinosaurs. You know, I was thinking this would be a metaphor, but it's actually a song about dinosaurs, so that's pretty good. Next, Brent Faiyaz and 2 Chainz and F the World, Summer in London. Somebody needs to go back to maximizing their streams, class. This is almost 5 minutes. Now for a song that's almost 6 minutes, The Avalanches and Wherever You Go. It's got Nina Cherry in it. It's one of those songs that takes a while to get to where it's going, but and I will hold that against it. Up next, Healy with Second Wind. Don't call it a comeback, call it a second wind. I call it mediocre. Let's move on to Liza Ann. I shouldn't ghost my therapist. Love the title. Okay, this is pretty good, and not just for the title. I shouldn't ghost my therapist, but that helps. Up next, Cochise and Taxon. It's alright, I guess. I don't know. It reminds me of a much better song like Audio Slave's Cochise. Anyway, Terrell Hines, Balance. Alright. This is pretty good. Up next, John the Blind with TTD. I like this one. It's kind of got that stuttery beat to it. Up next, Malia Civets and Disrespectful. This one really kicks in, brings the disco. It sounds like they're sampling Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes, though. I don't know if they are, but it sounds like they are. Next, Kylie Minogue and Say Something. Supposedly this is going to be her disco album, and it's like, isn't all of her music kind of her disco album? But yeah, this is pretty good. Next, King Von and Why He Told. And we're back to the OK. Up next, LP and The One You Love. The One That You Love. This is pretty good, although the album cover looks like Jesse Eisenberg trying to be Lou Reed. Up next, Mr. Wives and Three Small Words. Not a remake of the Josie and the Pussycat song, I'm guessing. Not Josie and the Pussycat's good, but it's pretty good. Up next, Ryan and 1 Minute. This reminds me of a song I think was by Courtney J called Can't Behave. That was a pretty good song, and so was this. Jacob Lattimore up next with Dead Ass. I had much higher hopes for a song called Dead Ass. It's just okay. Next, Currency and 90 IROC Z. The confusing part of this is on the album cover it has a boat. Up next, Justin Rari and Stunna for Vegas with Neighborhood Supplier. It's okay. I'll go that far. Up next, Reese LaFleur and Benny the Butcher with No Hook. Mediocre. Up next, Poor Stacy, Don't Look at Me. This is not at all what I was expecting it to sound like, in a good way, so I like it. Up next, Arashi and In the Summer. It's okay. I'm not very talkative, but like I said, I'm recording this very late. I'm trying not to wake anybody up. Up next, Giant Rooks with Misinterpretations. Love the album cover, but the song's too loud. It's okay. Up next, Emily Boo. Just wait. That's pretty good. Up next, Corin Hawthorne and Pray. Oof. That's pretty good. You can tell there's a lot of emotion behind this one. Up next, Courtney Marie Andrews and Old Flowers. I want to like this one more than I do. And let's wrap the week up with a recently uncovered cover of Patience by Chris Cornell. Normally Guns N' Roses covers are really, really not to be done. That's Chris Cornell reminding us of what we've lost. Because this is pretty good. Actually, this is great. The only grade of the week. Otherwise, OK went all the way to the bottom of the page. One of those weeks. So, yeah. That's a very abbreviated Spotify week. Because it's late and my head hurts and everybody else is asleep. And I'm stopping the recording now.